friends, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time stumbling upon my channel, hello, my name is Kim. I am an author illustrator, and here on my channel I love to share content about books and writing and just all around cozy lifestyle. Today I bring you a video that I am so excited to share. I have been wanting to start my own book reading journal, and I finally got all of my materials in and was able to film this process. In this journal, I am going to be keeping track of all the books that I read throughout the year, what my thoughts were on them, and just make it a very interactive and fun book journal to come to every time I finish a book. This is mostly going to be a more silent and relaxing video with just background music and no talking like you're hearing right now. Towards the end of the video, I will be doing a flip through so you'll be able to see more in depth how the entire journal came out. With that being said, friends, feel free to bring over some cozy snacks, some cozy drinks, or maybe even pull out your cozy crafting supplies and join me in creating something fun. I hope that you enjoy this video, friends, and if you do, please remember to subscribe and engage with my video. That would really help me out. welcome to the flip through part of this video. I am so excited to show you the completed version of my book journal. So let's start off with the cover of the book journal. I will have linked down below in the description area of this video where I got the stickers from. I will say that the ones that I got from, I forgot the name of the company, but they kind of keep unsticking, and these are from the same company. It's this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one was actually a freebie, but I initially ordered these three right here, and for some reason they keep unsticking, and I don't know if it's just like my journal, the texture of my journal, but they just keep unsticking. So I'm gonna have to figure something out so they could actually stick, because that is irking me. But I really love how everything came out. I love the stickers that I went ahead and purchased and just did a little collage on here. I feel like this really describes who I am and the kind of books that I like to read. So I am excited. I am planning on adding a lot more and then filling the back as well. I do have another big sticker that my sister just gifted me, and it's this Kiki's Delivery Service. I am a huge fan of Studio Ghibli, and Kiki's Delivery Service is an all-time favorite. So I am thinking of maybe just adding this to the back here. I don't know. I'm going to hold on to this because I am unsure if I want to use it on this journal or maybe a different one. So we'll see. But overall, I'm really happy with how this came out. It looks magical. It looks just, I don't know, cottagey core and dark, and it's just giving me all the good vibes, and I love it. So that is the cover. And then let's see, I still need to fill this in, but the very first page is actually one of my Patreon characters, and this is Mr. Bunks. And Mr. Bunks is a raccoon, as you can tell. This is actually one of my stickers for my February Patreon rewards that I'm going to be mailing out. And he just looks so cute. I absolutely adore him. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna add my other character. This is Mr. Featherton. This is another Patreon Spellbound Manor character that I came up with. And these are all familiars that live in my cozy little Patreon manor, which is called Spellbound Manor. So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it'll be cool to just make this entire page all the stickers that I'm going to be designing for 2024 for my Patreon. I think that's going to be cool to just reflect on and see. So I'm just going to add Mr. Featherton. This is also another sticker that I'm sending out for February this month for my Patreon subscribers. So let's see. There we go. Mr. Featherton, who is a crow and has a patch, an eye patch, and a little bald spot. That's him. And Mr. Bunks. So moving on, this is a little spreadsheet that I created. I took a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. I spent a few hours on Pinterest kind of researching what kind of pages I want to create for my book journal. And I wanted to just create fun and feasible pages. I didn't want to create something super over the top, because once I do, I feel like it'll be hard for me to continue to use. So I did a 2024 reading goals, and I did set a goal to try and read 50 books this year. I also do want to read more on my Kindle. I recently got a Kindle and I have been having such a blast with my Kindle. Now, if there are physical books that I want to go and buy, I'm going to be going forward. I want to be more selective of the books that I buy, that I physically go and buy, but books that I'm just interested in reading and I just want to read the storyline but not interested in owning a physical copy, then I'm just gonna read it on my Kindle. I am definitely a person that sometimes gets scared to DNF books, because in my opinion, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just spent all this time reading this book and now I'm gonna DNF it. And sometimes I just forcefully stick it through, but I don't want to do that. I just want to freely DNF books and not worry about it. So that is another reading goal for this year. I also want to read more diversely, period. I already feel like I do a pretty good job with reading diversely. I absolutely love reading diverse books. I think every reader should read diversely. I also want to be more consistent with reading every month. I feel that I have been doing a pretty good job, which I am so proud of myself for doing that. So I want to continue to be more consistent and also be consistent with this journal. I also did a little breakdown of how I give my stars in my books. So this is what I feel a 5-star book is for me, and then a 4-star, and then a 3-star, 2-star, and then 1-star. I feel like this will sometimes put things into perspective whenever I am rating my books, and sometimes I have a hard time with that because I'm just like, well, where does this fall under? Having this as a guide will definitely help it easier whenever I am rating my books. Now moving on, let's see. So this is a book tracking coloring sheet that is part of my Patreon. This is the Spellbound Manor Library, and the whole point of this is that you can color it all in but leave the books blank, and every time you finish a book you can come in here and fill it in, and that to me is just so satisfying. It is a cool way to just keep track of how many books you're reading, and it's just like a nice little cozy activity that you can do while you have something playing in the background or you're listening to an audiobook. I already started and filled this in and colored this point in. I still need to do the entire fire section and then this down here, but all the books I'm going to end up just leaving blank. I did fill in all the 7 books that I read for January, so it's going to be really fun to come and fill this in every month and just see all the books being filled in with color. It's just going to be super cozy. So this coloring sheet is available for all my Patreon subscribers. Now moving on, here is another little spreadsheet that I did. I decided to do a sheet of reasons why I read, and this I feel like is a super helpful little reminder to have whenever I might be feeling frustrated, or maybe I'm going through a little reading block. I feel like these little reasons as to why I read are great to come back to whenever I am in that headspace, and hopefully prompt me into picking up a book if I do find myself having a little reading slump. And then here I decided to do another sort of book tracking fun way to fill in. So I did a 2024 reading goal, and like I mentioned, my goal is 50 books. So I went ahead and filled in all the 7 books that I read in January. And then next, I did a little reading log. So these are the titles that I read in January. And then for the date, honestly, I do not even remember exactly like the dates that I read each book. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in like the month that I read it in, and then my stars that I'm giving it. And then next, here is another little Spellbound Manor book bingo interactive sheet that I created for all my Patreon members. I created my own little book bingo that I am so excited about. We have Mr. Bunks here and one of the Spellbound Manor witches that founded Spellbound Manor. I've already checked off 3 of these prompts that relate to some books that I've already read this year. I am just so excited to continue to fill this up, and I feel like every time I get like a little bingo, whether it's like straight across like this or like that, or when I filled it all in, I'm gonna be treating myself to little just goodies. I had a whole discussion with my Patreon members about this, and we all agreed that every time we get like some sort of bingo on here, we need to treat ourselves to something that we've been wanting. So again, I just decided to add this to my book journal. That way I don't have this page just laying around. So that fit in pretty perfectly on here. Remember, your book journal does not have to be perfect. I think the little wonkiness and things just being maybe a little unorganized or whatever it might be just adds a lot more character to your book journal. So the next few pages are going to be all the reviews of my books that I've been reading. I decided to go ahead and just print out the covers for the books because I have the materials for it anyways. So I printed out all of them for the books that I read in January, and I just love how it all came out. The next few pages are just going to be the synopsis, the review of the books, and then how and what format did I read it, the genre that it was, the date, the pages, and then how many stars I gave it. Now, because the markers that I'm using does kind of bleed onto the following page, I decided to cut up some cardstock paper because I did not want to skip pages to do my next spread. So I just decided to cut some cardstock and glue it on here and then right on top of it. That way I'm not skipping pages. And I really love how just the look just looks very worn in, sort of rustic and just doodly. I personally love that look. I love kind of like artsy, I guess, and just scribbled on. I did it to this following page as well. And then at the very end, I decided to do a January book favorites. These are books that I gave 5 stars to. I'm going to be making this spread every month. Initially, I wanted to print out another little sticker of the book cover, but I couldn't get to it by the time I had to film this video, so I just wrote in the title and then the author's name. And then I gave a little bit of reasons as to why these were 5-star books for me. Overall, I really love how this entire little book journal came out. I love the little spreads that I was able to create, and I feel like this is going to be such a interactive and great way to just reflect on the books that I'm reading each month and have a good time with this. I am always looking for little cozy activities to do while I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm watching something in the background, anything that can kind of just allow me to escape for a little bit and do something creative. I really hope that you enjoyed this cozy little video, friends. Let me know if you also have or keep a book reading journal, and if you don't, I hope this sort of inspires you into that direction. I think this is just so much fun to do, and I'm excited to have this all filled out by the end of the year and show you guys how this is looking like. If you like these kind of videos, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and engage with these videos. It really goes a long way, and I have a goal to make it to 5,000 subscribers this year, and with your support by engaging with my videos, it really helps me out. So with that being said, friends, I will leave you with our quote of the year, and that is to remember that you can create the life that you want because you so deserve it, friend. Take care. I will see you in a video soon. Bye for now.